So, Buckman and his knights have retired to their rooms. Through your little surreptitious familiar summoning, which is only partially successful, you've determined that at least 3 of the other vacant rooms are completely vacant. There is only 1 remaining. And the storm's in full effect, and the sisters are very clearly on to the fact that we are doing something. That is, they're somehow aware of where your familiar appears.
Yep.
That's where we left off. So, to borrow a modern colloquialism, we've been rumbled a little bit.
Yep.
However, they are not doing anything about it yet.
No. Couple things.
Yes.
First off, I don't understand if there's any connection between this place and the tree. I don't really see that unless they have some sort of additional aims than waylaying travelers. Buckman and them have passed out, so they're not going to be of any use whatsoever.
Probably not. They've been eating and drinking quite heavily, and if it's all been drugged or poisoned or whatever, they're probably going to be out for some time. At which point, the sisters might be able to spring whatever their trap is at that point.
Yeah.
The good news is, we are not under any such influence. The bad news is they probably have noticed that by this point.
Yeah, I would try a performance thing to act drunk, or inebriated or whatever.
I think it's a bit late. I think the ship has sailed. That they know that we've noticed something unusual, and that we're doing something unusual that they don't quite understand either. But they've noticed. But they're as suspicious of us as we are of them, basically now.
Well, yeah, and I have no performance skills anyway.
No, and you have a penalty to charisma.
Yeah.
So, what's our next move, I ask you?
Well, we can't go anywhere.
No, we could ask to be shown to our rooms, I say. We could discuss this away from them, though that may not help.
No, they're aware of what happens in those rooms, obviously, so here's just as good as anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we confront them directly, we're outnumbered.
Yes, 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm. We do not know what they are.
No. They are doing something nefarious, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're evil. Their intent may be
interesting distinction, but okay.
Well, the thing is, they could be drugging wayfarers so that they can rob them.
Yes.
That doesn't usually, immediately invoke the death penalty as far as I'm concerned.
No, it doesn't. However, if wealth and greed is what their goal is, they certainly seem to be absent-minded enough about collecting a fee for us spending the night.
Not necessarily, because if they're going to drug us and put us in a catatonic state, they can just take everything.
Yeah.
So, no, they're not mutually exclusive. Personally, I think we're going to need to use Buckman and crew as guinea pigs.
Alright. So we're not confronting them directly then.
Not yet.
Well, we can't really go outside this point, otherwise coming here to seek shelter from the storm was pointless.
Yes.
We're pretty sure the storm is here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably.
we even hear some thunder at that point.
I can't really send Tobias over to the tree either to see how that's going.
Well, you could. Owls are known to fly in storms, but yes, you could get hit with a bolt of lightning.
Well,
to add even more confusion to the situation, we do not even know if that tree is connected with these sisters at all or not.
no, that's just it. These could be 2 completely disjointed things. I don't think so, though. Seems too convenient.
Right. It's at this point that the eldest sister, Ayumi, the one dressed in the black kimono, is coming over to our table. The other three sisters seem to be going back to what they were doing before. Says, did you have someone requiring anything else? She asks.
No, we're good. Oh, actually, one thing. Do you guys have a restroom? Or is it outside?
That would be outside.
Yeah, well, okay, can you give me directions?
Yes.
You can take advantage of the facilities.
Yes. She simply tells you that it's basically at the back of the inn.
Alright.
Unfortunately, there is no door out that way.
Go at the front, go around the building. Alright. I say, okay, I'll be back.
Okay. So you're going to leave me in here.
You can come too if you like.
I will excuse myself with the pretense of might as well at the same time.
Alright. Go in front of the building.
Yeah. We feel their eyes on us all the way out of the dining hall.
Yeah. So, the storm is full force, I assume?
It is pouring rain as we open the door. We haven't stepped out yet.
Well, there's an awning here. Hold on a second.
Yes, there is an awning. Yeah, there was an awning. Yes, I know. You don't have to...
It's not bad. It's just... It is not where we are.
Yes.
So, I'm going to stand there. I'm going to summon Tobias.
Yes.
And his instructions are to quickly fly to the tree and back.
All right. He flies off. I assume you're going to be perceiving through his senses.
Yep.
Are we going to be following their instructions just to maintain that pretense, or are we just not even bothering?
Well, I mean, enjoying a bit of fresh air is not unusual. This won't take more than a couple minutes.
No.
Hang on to the railing because one of these things. I'm gonna pretend that I'm looking up at the sky, even though I'm not.
Well, technically, you can look up into the sky even when your senses are near familiar.
Yeah.
You're just blind.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
And what do I see?
You see the tree.
Everything's
You see the
normal.
5 Kodama orbiting it.
Yep.
It's pouring rain now. There's occasional flash of lightning and sound of thunder. Nothing else.
All right. I will dismiss Tobias.
Yeah.
I'll also go around to the back. Gonna have to use the facilities anyway.
Yeah. Can I make a perception check as we go around? We're getting soaked, by the way.
Well, I'll put on my big leather jacket hat.
I don't mind, but you probably do.
Oh, one of my die is actually forgiving me. Perception?
Yes.
19.
All right. As we're going around the inn to the back,
Yep.
we hear movement from inside the inn.
Yeah. I'm gonna go around this side, the Buckman side.
Okay. Yeah, we heard some movement from inside the inn.
Okay.
It was quiet, but you were able to hear it. I wasn't over the storm.
Okay.
We're definitely being watched. An eye is being kept on us, at least.
Either that or they're moving the Buckman crew.
Could.
As we're walking by his room, Tobias is gonna pop in for a second, see if they're there, and pop it.
Okay. In which room? Both of them?
No, just Buckman's room.
Alright. They're still there. They're snoring loudly. We can hear them. There are windows in this inn, basically.
Oh, we can see in them?
We'd have to look in a little bit. They're like blinds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna cast the light spell, so.
It's not dark. Well, it's overcast. But the sun hasn't set just yet. It probably will be soon, though.
Alright. go avail ourselves of the facilities.
which is basically just their backyard.
Yeah. Then head back in.
Okay. We head back into the inn.
Yep.
So you want to go back there now? Alright, we come back in. I dry us off with prestidigitation.
Before we get into the actual area.
Yes. Just so we're not dripping water everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So you stow your coat away after I dry it. And I am about as dry as I can ever be at the moment.
Yeah.
And we go back inside?
Sure.
Okay. The four of them are waiting there. Still basically at their spots around the table with the grill, basically. And the fire. Two of them, one of them sisters is putting more wood into the fire to keep it going.
Okay.
As we approach, they say, so what's the plan now? At some point, they are probably going to want to go to bed.
Well, the thing is, they haven't done anything yet.
No.
It's not like we can force the situation, really. I mean, we got two options. We can sit here.
Yep.
And,
Try and run out their hospitality.
yeah, just sit here and chat and kill time until they decide to do something.
Or we could go to our room and possibly plan there, and that might move things along. I don't know. There are merits to both options, I think.
The other option, the last option, is to go up to them and say,
Oh, we confront them directly, yeah.
the food was wonderful. I was just curious why you drugged it all.
So yeah, confront them directly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, I say that I think that's probably that third option is probably one we should reserve just in case of emergency. We might be able to get away with this.
Get away with what?
Well, discreetly. It's like, that's the thing, we're trying to find out what's going on. But
Yeah.
I don't think confronting them directly, well, that might help, but it also might just get us in a fight we can't possibly not be able to win.
That'd be unusual.
Yeah, we've done a lot, but we are off the beaten trail here.
True. But if they were that powerful...
Why are they resorting to this?
Yeah. This is awfully...
Elaborate?
Hmm?
Elaborate?
Well, not just that. It's the kind of thing that you do when you can't, force your way through things.
Yeah.
I mean, those knights are laughable for skill. I mean, we could take them all without any real effort.
Yes, but they may not be able to say the same. They are still trained fighters, and still well armored and armed.
Yeah, but if they could
At the moment, they're not much of a threat at all.
I mean, if... Oh, my. The comparison I was trying to do is if they find Duke Buckman and his crew a threat, we are an order of magnitude above them.
Yes, but they may not know that.
Anyway. So, got A, B, or C? You already kibosh C.
Yeah. That seems like it should be a last resort, in my opinion. Because then our hand is forced. So we're forcing their hand, which means it's probably going to be a fight.
Yeah, well, also a fight if they decide to do something to Buckman and crew.
Well, we do need a decision.
Well, sit here for another half hour or so.
Alright. Sit here till the sun sets, basically.
Yeah.
At which point it's probably less odd that we'll be asked to be shown to our rooms.
Yeah, I mean, going to bed early is weird.
It's not something unheard of when you're traveling, though.
No, that's true. Anyway, after about a half hour, I'll get up, I'll stretch. Oh, yep. I'll approach. Which one was the one that was the eldest that was at the front?
Ayumi, she's the one who's in the black kimono. Yeah.
I walk up to her and I say, "Well, I guess it's getting time to turn in." Should you show us our room?
Yes, it says, I will show you to the rooms. It says, sisters, do you please clear the dining hall and just make sure everything is put away properly.
Okay.
So she leaves her 3 sisters there to take care of that, and she starts leading us towards the front hall and takes us to one of the side doors. Ironically, the 3rd room on the left side of the inn, the only one that you did not put your familiar in.
Okay.
Whether or not this is just where she had us put, or might be her way of showing the fact that she was aware that you summoned your familiar in every other room. Yeah. You don't know, but that's the room she's leading us towards.
Okay.
Right. So, it's pretty... Once we get in there,
yep.
They're pretty much all uniform. There's 3 futons with a pillow and a blanket and tatami mats.
Yep.
And there's a few other... There's a closet in there with like a few basic things. That's about it.
Alright, I wish her good night.
Yep. She bows to us and wishes us says, pleasant dreams. It says, do not let the storm interrupt your esteemed repose, as she closes the door.
Alright. My owl had issues. Something you couldn't understand in these rooms. I'm going to investigate the room.
Alright. With my assistance.
25.
25. Alright. As we're investigating the room, not just with our eyes, but with our, basically our hands and our feet and we're exploring the room as we're walking around it, there's indeed something odd here, and as we're beginning to explore and investigate, we start to push through that the sensation of the magical field of illusion here.
Okay.
And which, with our combined efforts, the 2 of us are able to finally push through it.
Look at 25, did it? Wow.
Well, you were rolling really low before, to be fair. Yeah, so it went from one end of the spectrum to the other, so you don't know what the DC was.
True.
However, we are able to push through it, and the room we're in starts to look immediately different, and you can go ahead to one image to see what is probably the most likely difference.
Alright. Old and disused.
Alright. Yeah, so we're in that room there.
This one here, yeah.
Also, this is night now, so it's darker.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing we notice, apart from the fact this place does look slightly older, not still maintained, but it doesn't look quite as pristine as it did before. And the other thing we notice is this room is covered in basically cobwebs or webs.
Yes.
And you're realizing this is probably what your owl was having difficulty with. It was trying to understand how it felt the different tactile sensation of all this webbing in here, despite the fact it couldn't see it.
Alright. I've run across a few things that can create webs.
Usually spiders.
Usually some sort of spider. But does this look like your average house spider who's made a few webs and hasn't been disturbed in forever? Or are these webs thicker and stronger than that?
Alright. So assume you're going to be investigating these.
Yep.
Well, you rolled a really high investigating check, so we'll just work off of that so you don't have to roll again. Because this is kind of the same check, basically.
Yep.
Well, the good news is the strands aren't all over the room. It's basically mostly on the floor and some of the walls and stuff.
Yep.
They are, when you actually touch it, it does stick, and it is pretty strong. This feels like spider silk, like actual spider silk. And probably going off this, more than the average spider could produce in its lifetime. in this one room.
Alright.
The rest of the inn is like this.
Gives me an opportunity to do something that we haven't done yet.
I say as much. This might explain how they were able to find your familiar.
Web sense?
Yeah, spiders, if they weave webs, they can sense when prey enters their web.
Yep.
That means they're some sort of spider creature, possibly.
Yes. I'm gonna go into my bag of holding and
Yeah.
pull out something I put in there way back on the plateau, and that's a torch.
Okay. Which will not be lit. This is not Skyrim.
It's not Skyrim.
You pull out a lit torch.
And I do what Conan did to, I remember the actor's name, Maki, but I can't remember his character name.
Akira, you mean? The character was named Akira, yes. Mako was the act. Okay. You want?
Mako was the actor, yes.
I cast Prestidigitation, lighting the torch.
Yep.
I was like, okay, this inn is made of flammable material, I say as you do that.
Yeah, I am not going to just wave it willy-nilly everywhere, but I am going to go up to one of the webs and set it on fire.
Okay. It catches fire quite easily.
Yes.
It's spider webbing. Very flammable. The web spell itself says you can set it on fire.
Yep.
So it starts to burn out and spread. There are tons of other strands of webbing that are connected to this that will catch. To say nothing of the fact the entire room we are standing in is made of flammable material. The building is made of wood, and the mats and everything else are made of plant fiber.
Oh, you can put them out in an instance, that's fine.
Alright, do you want me to do that?
Yeah, before it spreads too far,
Yeah.
I would like you to put out the fire that I started and the torch.
Yes. Alright, it doesn't take long. Alright, you're able to put it out. Basically, about half the room is now clear of spider webbing, but I was able to keep it from catching on anything else, and the torch is out too.
Okay, I put the torch away.
Or you're waiting to see if they're going to come running.
Yeah.
This is probably a bit outside the normal web sense thing.
I'm pretty sure they'll know if someone set fire to their webs.
Alright, roll a perception check, each of us.
18.
Oh, that's better than me. You hear some very light footsteps from outside our room. So you think someone was sent to investigate this when they smelled the webs burning, but that's about it.
Okay. I slide the doors open.
Okay.
Who's there?
You don't see anyone there. You do see webs and various places in the main hall as well.
Yep.
And over the walls and the ceiling and the floor.
But I don't see anything that could create light footsteps.
No.
Could be illusion. I'm gonna go for it one more time.
Alright.
$17?
Alright, you focus again. There doesn't appear to be any additional illusory effect. You do focus again, you can see the faint image of the pristine inn being placed on top of this, but that's about it.
Alright, I think there's an invisibility spell going here.
Oh, I do have seen visibility provided, I believe.
Yeah, well, fastest thing for me to do would be to cast Dispel Magic.
Alright, you're going to cast Dispel Magic on an invisibility spell within the spell range.
Yep,
Alright. Mark off your spell slot.
I did.
Alright, so you take out your wand and you wave it, and you send out the disrupting magic attempting to dispel the effect of an invisibility spell, or some similar form of invisibility that might be in effect at the moment.
Yep.
A moment passes, nothing seems to happen. There's no obvious creature that becomes visible from the effect of your spell in this room. They may have just been able to make it out in time, I said.
I'm gonna go into the dining room.
Alright. You open... By the way, you're aware of the webs now. You weren't aware of them impeding your movement before, but they are sticking to you.
For the moment, I'll just try and avoid them.
Yeah. Good luck. There's a lot of them.
Well, once I open the door,
Yes.
the dining room, is there anybody in here?
At this point, no, they seem to have vacated for the moment. You do notice that they seem to have cleared the tables and everything.
That may not have even been there. Who knows?
Well, you can still see the tables, they're present.
Yeah.
And the dishes are being put aside. So the room looks relatively similar.
Alright, I'm gonna go over, skirting the corners, to Buckman's room.
Alright. So you go to the room. You open the door.
Yep.
Alright, you open the door. You hear the loud snoring inside. There are webs in here too.
Yep. Are they covered in webs, or are they just snoring and laying on top of webs?
Not at the moment. The beds are the beds are there basically.
Yeah. So they're not cocooned like the dwarves were in the Hobbit.
No, not yet at the very least.
I'm gonna look up and around. Is there anything in this room besides them? I'm also gonna listen.
Alright, make a perception check.
Never mind.
Right?
I said never mind.
Never mind. Okay. You don't hear anything but they're snoring.
I closed the door. Alright. There are limited numbers of places you can be in this inn. I'm gonna go to all the rooms and look at each and every one of them.
Hey!
Also, what I want to do is I want to look for possible trapdoors to like a subfloor, like the basement.
Alright, so you're gonna search the rooms for those?
Yep, I am going to search.
Alright. We're going to try and cover this in one check just to speed things up a little bit, but...
23.
Alright, so you go to the 4 remaining rooms. The one immediately on the right side there, adjacent to Buckman's room, has the remaining 2 knights.
This one.
Yep. They're snoring asleep. You don't find any secret passages, and they are out cold.
This room?
Is empty.
This room?
Empty, and so is the 5th, the 6th and final one. Apart from the fact that they are filled with webs as well.
So I find no secret passages, no secret doors, no panels,
And no sisters.
and no sisters. And all this time, I didn't hear something, anything.
Nope. If they're hiding, they're doing it well.
Alright. You have see invisibility prepared?
I do. I'm still back in our room, by the way.
Oh, alright.
You didn't say you brought me with me. With you.
Right. I thought we're together, but it doesn't matter. Alright, go back to where you are. And I said, no sisters. The Buckman crew are snoring loudly. And I have not found any other levels, secret panels, doors.
Alright. So, I'm going to cast 2 spells. The first spell I'm going to cast is Mage Armor on myself.
No, I think it's going south, dude.
Because, well, we're definitely at least in some danger at this point.
Yes.
Better safe than sorry. And the second spell I will cast is I will cast See Invisibility, which allows me to use my Expert Divination to regain the first level spell slot I cast. To cast Mage Armor.
Okay.
Alright. So, for the next hour, Without requiring concentration, I can see invisible creatures and objects with a spell.
And into the ethereal plane. Which
And
makes
into the
it
ethereal plane,
important.
yes.
Are they in the ethereal plane?
Well, so you want us to go through the rooms again, I assume.
Yeah. We'll go check all the rooms again. Ceilings, floors, walls.
Okay. Well, as we go through the rooms and we're heading back to, I basically look up,
Yeah.
and, which is something you never said you did, by the way.
I did.
Well, you rolled badly anyway. And they say, oh, they're there.
They're on the ceiling.
All four of them. They have, well, basically, you know, the type of Japanese sandals that are worn in traditional attire.
Yep.
They've removed those.
Yep.
And their socks, because there's also those worn. So they're barefoot, and their hands and feet, and they're clinging to the ceiling with those.
Spider climb?
Exactly like a spider would.
Yep.
And I pointed out to you. I said, they're not invisible, I don't know. They're just well hidden. And they've noticed us. Noticed them.
Yep. Hey, ladies. Interesting what you've done with the decor.
They, the Ayumi, the head sister, issues some sort of, it sounds like a command in their language. And all of them, moving quite naturally on all four of their limbs on the ceiling,
Yep.
are heading towards what looks like, well, basically a high, like almost skylight window.
Don't go away. We're not evil. We're not going to hurt you. We're just curious.
Before you can, as you say that, they basically have all exited through that.
They've left.
Yes.
So they're outside in the storm now? Or up in some secret room?
Or some sort of secret room in the rafters. There doesn't appear to be a second floor as far as we can tell. There's no obvious way up there. Then again, if they can climb on the ceilings and walls, they don't need one.
Checking, and from what I've been outside this building, and now that I'm inside it, does it look like there's a room up there for another room?
Possibly, but we can see the ceiling. It looks like it does open up into the exterior, so we think it's possible, but unlikely. It'd have to be very well hidden and very small. Just likely they wanted to get out of the way because we were spotted.
That's all I want to do is talk.
There's no response. I said, well, I think we could already take the fact that they were probably up to something nefarious.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything yet. That's my problem.
They might be waiting for us to retire for the night.
Well, that's not going to happen now.
I know that. We may have disrupted their plan, whatever it was. Well, they have a couple options. Well, we can pursue them out into the storm. Who knows how that will go. By the way, there's no natural light. There's no, like, artificial light in here anymore. So we're pretty sure they can see in the dark.
Alright, well, now that they're twigged to everything, I'm going to cast light on my staff.
Yeah, and I'll do the same. So outside, we're pretty sure they have dark vision of some sort.
So you don't really need dark vision if you're outside. You know, well, maybe in a storm at night you do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, going out there carries its own risks. Then again, staying here does as well.
Dry in here.
Yep. Well, obviously, you and I could very easily get out of the situation.
Yeah, it's Buckman and crew.
Yep. Us leaving this the inn would require us abandoning them.
Yeah. I mean, he's a bit of a blowhard, but he's not worth, you know... He hasn't done anything to us. He's just incompetent. He's a spoiled aristocrat.
Well, as far as we know, they're still in their rooms for the time being.
Yeah, we can wait this out.
Yeah, we could. Well, we can't wait all night. We do need to rest at some point. We will get exhausted.
Well, it's a constitution check.
Yeah, we don't know about them, though.
Well, I can do all kinds of things to them, but again...
Not now, they're not here.
Alright. Open up the doors to Buckman's room and the other knight's rooms, so
Yep.
the doors are open.
Yes.
They're still in there snoring?
Yes. So as far as we understand how a spider-based web sense works, as long as they are attached to any of the strands of the spider web that we are touching, they know exactly where we are.
Yeah, let's undo all that. Let's spend the next little bit of time clearing the webs away.
Alright, how are you going to be doing that? Just with the torch again? And carefully burning it?
No.
That's not necessarily going to work.
No, I have a magic dagger.
Yeah, we'll take out our daggers and we'll make the second Tolkien reference this evening and try cutting them away. Needless to say, the enchanted blades cut through the spider silk quite easily.
Yep. So I'm going to free them so they're no longer attached to any webbing.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to systematically start clearing out all the rooms so they don't know where we are.
Alright. This is probably going to take a little while.
Yeah, I've got time to kill.
Yeah. So basically, we do some spring cleaning for them.
Yeah.
So this takes about an hour. Because...
And during all that time, nobody shows up.
No.
I don't understand these people. Well, obviously they don't want a confrontation.
Yeah, they were intelligent enough to avoid us.
Yeah.
That probably means they aren't as big of a threat as possibly as we initially thought. Or they're just cautious, like we are.
Oh yeah, we're also not just cautious, but we're also not homicidal. We're not going to go around killing things simply because they're acting outside our normal considerations for behavior.
True, to a point. But they do not know that. They certainly do not know the extent of our moral character, and we don't really know the extent of theirs either.
Exactly. So they have not killed anybody.
Yet.
No, as far as I know, the only thing that we can say that they've done is they have drugged people, and that may just be so they can acquire their stuff. Not nice, but...
At this point, I would like us each to roll a perception check. Well, I rolled a natural 1.
I'm way better at 10.
Alright. We hear the sound of one of the horses outside being giving a cry of alarm.
Okay. Let's go on the porch.
Alright, so we go outside. So obviously it's not bright daylight anymore, it's storming.
So, standing under the porch.
Yeah,
The horses are this side or this side?
that side.
Okay, so we walk by them.
Yeah, as we look at it,
Yep.
well, they are no longer tied up and they are lying on the ground. All of them.
Horses are moving?
A little bit, yeah. They're breathing, and their kind of limbs twitch occasionally.
They're poison?
You want to go examine them?
Alright. These guys are really stealthy from what I gather. So first, have it bias
And
out.
near as I can tell, they're not hiding themselves through invisibility.
That's still going?
Oh no, that would have passed. But yes, as far as we can tell from when I had the spell going, they weren't they were hiding well, but they weren't invisible.
Okay.
They were just
bright light,
Yep.
bias, and I'm gonna see
Enemy.
if I can spot them
okay.
as we head towards where they are, where the horses are.
Horses are.
So that'll be a 17.
We don't see them in the immediate vicinity. The other thing we noticed when they were moving is they can move quite quickly.
Yes. So I'm gonna throw the first horse on the switching on the ground. Do a med check on them.
All right, roll your medicine check.
20. Dirty.
Hey, there are puncture wounds on the horses' throats near, well, veins basically, and arteries on them in their necks. And there's definitely traces of venom in there, and they're showing all the signs of a paralytic venom, quite similar to basically the venom a spider would use.
Have we been fed upon?
In what way?
Oh. Had body fluids removed.
No, as far as we can tell, they've been pumped full of poison. And they probably owe to the fact that they're horses and they have a horse's constitution that they survived at all.
Alright, so we've got some nasty little buggers.
Yeah. They seem to be trying to cut us off. Or, yeah, but they're just going with what they know. They may not know what we can do.
Well, I assume they can count.
What? The fact that we didn't come with horses?
Yeah.
Anyway, not important.
Back inside.
Alright. As we're heading back towards the front door, we can hear sounds of movement inside.
Quickly going back inside.
Not quiet movement. In fact, it sounds almost like bodies being dragged.
Yeah.
Alright, we go inside. So we go back inside. Yeah, you don't have to keep switching back and forth, by the way.
Why not?
Well, because it can get a bit much sometimes. Anyway. So, the door to the dining hall is closed now.
Burst through it.
So you're going to try and break the door down. You're not going to try opening it first.
I'll open the door.
It's stuck.
I'm just thinking if this is actually like Japanese. Just
You
take
can
my
try
dagger-
breaking through the door if you want.
Just take my dagger and slit it up because it's just paper.
Yep. You're going to do that?
Yep.
Alright, you split up. On the other side, there's a spider web now. Which you can cut through as well. That's going to take.
So they blocked the door.
Yep.
Alright, the quickest thing to do is firebolt it.
Alright, well, you've already cut through the door. You can see in there now through the webs. And, well, there are two things you can see through the slit.
I can actually see through this one. It's not thick.
It is thick enough, but it's not like a solid wall of it. It's like they've put a web there to keep the door shut.
Okay.
Actually, they're buying time probably. So the two things you can see: one, the doors to Buckman and the Knight's rooms are open,
We opened them, yeah.
and we opened those. The table with the grill is not overlit, obviously, but it's been shoved to one side,
That's where they had their way down.
and the other underneath it is basically a tunnel,
Okay.
like a hole in the ground. Yeah,
And-
near as we can tell, it's been dragged to the side, so there wasn't really like a secret door or a switch.
Okay, so
And the other thing you notice is someone just went down there, and two more of the sisters are coming out of not the room Buckman was in, but the other room with the other two knights.
yep.
And each of them is dragging one of the knights who is in dress, who is quite heavy. So clearly they're quite strong,
Yep.
despite their appearance, and they're pulling them with relative ease towards the hole.
Alright, and slash the webs.
Yeah, you cut through the web. And you leap into the room, I assume?
Yep, that's it. Alright, stop right there.
They make a sound that sounds like a cross between a hissing sound and a chittering noise of annoyance. Clearly not a sound that could come from a human larynx, as I step into the room, I say.
Yep.
And I think this is a good time to roll for initiative.
Yeah. Should have just fireballed them earlier when they're all in the room.
It would have made it a short session, I assure you. Those are some very good rolls. What'd you roll?
I got a 17.
I have a 21.
Holy crap. How about our spider friends?
And I have major armor going still, but no longer see visibility. Alright. Their dexterity. 1 second. I have to add to this. That's quite high. They have a 20.
I am last.
Yep.
That doesn't happen very often.
Alright.
Especially with a 17.
Yeah, you rolled well. Unfortunately, everyone else seems to have rolled much better.
Yep. Happens.
Alright, you're at full health, you said?
Yep.
Well, that may change.
Yeah. I suspect that's temporary.
Okay. So, as I step in the room just behind you,
Yep.
they see us. They're annoyed. They let go of the knights they're dragging. So they're...
Yeah, you're up first.
I am up first. The bad news is I can't hit them both with an area effect spell without hitting the 2 knights.
Nope. Go to your usual standby.
Alright, I say, I guess we should see how tough they really are.
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to hit them with Magic Missile, because tried and true.
Yeah, just aim for one of them.
Yeah, but I'm just going to cast it at first level. I want to see just how tough they actually are. If this takes them out, we might not be any threat at all.
I can't imagine.
Especially not with those numbers, 2 ones. So 6 plus 3 is 9. 2, oh, just in case you're wondering, the sisters here
I named numbered them 1 to 4.
are Hisoka, the one dressed in blue, so that's the second youngest, and Rei, the one in red, who had the predatory eyes, and it's her I'm hitting.
Alright. So you're hitting the youngest one?
Yeah.
Alright.
Just because she's been, like, staring at us all night. But, as good of a reason as any.
Sure.
So I conjure the 3 darts of magic force, which 2 of which don't have quite the oomph of the third.
Yep.
But they all strike her square in the chest.
Yep.
Doesn't seem to be too annoyed by that.
Only 9 damage.
Yeah, it's not a lot. But, yeah, it says, okay, well, any concerns about them being some sort of delicate flower just run out the window.
Well, yeah, I didn't think they were.
Yeah. It's like... And,
They're up.
there. One of them, Ray says in comment as accursed wizards. She says, the other sister says, Hisoka, the older sister says, it seems we have to deal with them. In sudden, quick, like almost like that, they change shape.
Okay.
They stop being the images of beautiful young women and take the form of rather large spiders.
Okay.
More specifically, golden orb weaver spiders, but so a specific type of spider, but large ones.
Yep.
And they are able to cross the room to get to us
Okay.
with their movement, but their action was to change shape.
Alright. So now we're in melee with them.
Yes, both of them, because they're basically kind of not really flanking us, but kind of like, well, not like coming at us at an angles.
Okay.
So, you're up. You have two giant spiders in front of you. Ones that were humanoid women just a split second earlier.
Yeah, well, I wasn't exactly expecting them to be women, so.
No, but it is still something we're not used to.
I am going to, I guess. How big are they? Size category?
All right, what did I say? They are large. So technically they're bigger than they were before.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple ways I can deal with this, I guess. I think I'm going to go with this first.
All right.
I'm going to cast a fourth level spell, and I'm going to polymorph myself into the giant ape.
All right. You see their transformation. You decide to pull out one of your own.
Seems apropos.
All right. So yeah, you are concentrating. Polymorph. I can't remember. What's the giant ape hit points?
157.
All right. There you go. So I am suddenly in a kaiju battle, rather appropriately, since we are literally in a Japanese setting at the moment.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too.
Yeah. That's all you can really do at the moment.
Yeah, can't wait for contingency, I tell you.
All right, round two. So now I have three giant things in front of me.
One's friendly.
One is friendly, but the problem is for area effects. I could maneuver. Technically speaking, you're kind of in between me and one of them, so I could maneuver a little bit. But
if you're going to do a frost breath,
yeah,
you can wiggle your way around one of them.
yes, I can. Basically, I'm no longer in melee with one of them because you grew to the size to the point that you're basically forcing one of them and me apart.
Yeah.
But the other sister, I'm still in melee range. So I'm going to try and rotate around. And because I modified this spell since we last used it, because the damage dice were failing me a little bit, I think it's time to try the new and improved Frost Breath.
Yep.
And I'm going to angle it to avoid hitting you.
Want me to roll their saving throws?
By all means. I roll damage. Oh, for those who are curious, the new damage for Frost Breath is 6d4 plus 6 at third level.
Big honking magic missiles.
Basically, the thought process, because d4s tend to let me down less.
You just rolled 2 1s on a magic missile.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is a chance to redeem itself. And boy, does it ever. 4, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20 plus 6 is 26 points of cold damage. 4 below max. What were the saving throws roll? Just the numbers? Because I have their constitution modifiers here, obviously.
The high one was 15.
Fail.
So the other one failed as well then.
Alright, so they take 26 points of cold damage.
And are immobilized.
And are frozen, which is not something arachnids tend to like happening to them.
The other thing we were talking about.
Oh, right. You said that they should suffer some form of ongoing cold damage.
Just a d4.
Well, while they're encased in the ice, and considering they are creatures that generally do not generate... Well, normal spiders don't generate their own body heat. Normal spiders would be dead by this point, though, so...
Normals, yeah.
They
Normal
still get a
spiders,
chance to
that's
break
great.
free on their turn as an action, so I'll roll the cold damage at the end of their turn if they're still in it.
That makes sense.
Alright, so they're both encased in ice at the moment, though.
And
They don't like that.
It's also their turn.
It is also their turn. Alright. You are not, despite your appearance, not just as intelligent as an actual spider is. You're more intelligent, so let's see what you're going to make. That, on the other hand, is a low roll, so I'm going to say they're going to go with their instincts.
What, to get out of the ice?
Which is probably the same thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
Alright, so each of them is going to use their action to try and break free. So it's their strength versus my spell save DC. Alright. They get to add 2 to this.
Not horribly strong.
Both fail.
Excellent. I'm going to actually manage to do something as a giant ape.
And they each suffer 1 point of cold damage. It is, at this point, it is non-magical cold. They're just slowly suffering frostbite from being encased in ice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then it's going to get much worse for you because it's your turn, and they're both restrained. Which means you have advantage on your attack rolls.
Oh, that's true on each of them. The first one, then, I rolled them together, is a natural 20.
Okay, which one? Which is probably not easy for you to tell at this point.
The one that was in front of me, I don't know.
They're both technically in front of you because you're so big.
Alright, so the first attack is a natural 20.
Yeah.
It's going to be on, I'm labeled it as sister, well, the one that you initially magic missiled.
Okay, so Ray.
Alright. I don't remember the damage I do. Sorry.
It has been a little while since we both, since you used this, and also we're just coming back from Christmas holidays, everyone. So we're going to take a little bit to get back into the swing of things. On your fist, 3d10 plus 6. So
Let's 48 points of damage on the first hit.
on her.
Yeah.
You bring your fist down, and much like if you had brought your giant ape fist down on a regular spider that had been encased in ice, there is a shattering sound and a spray of ice shards and light blue blood, because I actually did Google search what spider blood looked like, just in case this came up. You squash the youngest sister into paste.
And my second attack will go on the other one.
Yep. Not a natural 20, I hope?
No.
Okay.
Unless their armor class is really high.
What was the number?
19?
Yeah, that hits.
For less damage, because I don't get to add all that.
Yeah, because you don't get to double the dice.
23 points of damage.
A palpable hit against her as well. You crack the ice, and you also damage her exoskeleton. And you see her light blue blood leaking out.
Yeah. And
But she's still alive. In lots of pain, probably because you just hit her, and also probably because you just killed her sister.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be. If she's not gonna run away, I think I'm gonna be a target choice.
Yeah, if she doesn't just break free on her turn. That's the thing. Alright, that's the end. Alright, so round 3. I'm up first.
Yep.
Okay. I say I probably should save my spell slots. And she's restrained. So, I'm going to see if I can reinforce that ice then, I say. And I'm going to bring up my hand and send a blue ray of frost at her. I'm out of melee. No, this is an attack roll.
Oh. Oh, you're doing. Oh, you haven't done this one yet, have you?
I have done this a few times, yes. But this is the first time with advantage.
Ah.
Because she is restrained and I am out of her melee.
Okay.
I might only be like 10 or 15 feet away, but it still counts. Okay, that's a 15 plus 10 is 25.
Yeah, I think you did.
All right, 2d8. Not as impressive as that's a 10. Why is there 10 in there with my dates? There's a got mixed in. All right, 11 points of cold damage. It also doesn't reinforce the ice for anyone who's curious. I was just being funny. She still takes the damage though. They don't seem to be overly vulnerable to cold, but they don't like it. All right.
That one has taken 61 points of damage.
So, yep, we come to Hisoka's turn. She's angry. She's also in a lot of pain, so I am going to roll here to see which is going to win out.
Right.
Attacking you, which is very much who she would target, or breaking free and trying to run.
Yeah.
And taking an attack of opportunity, but...
Yeah.
She's going to attack you.
All right.
With disadvantage.
Oh, that's right. She got frost breath.
She's restrained still.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Oh, also, my armor class is really low. Well,
12, yeah.
No, 14, isn't it? Same. No, it should be 14.
It says 12 according to the stat block.
Really? Oh, that was... Oh, wait a minute. Never mind, I'm adding my...
Yeah, the rings don't work in this form.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, that's a natural one. The other one was a 4, too, so it wasn't much better. Your turn. She was probably better off breaking free and then running.
My lowest number to hit her is 15.
You have advantage to hit her.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so what was the actual number to hit then?
15.
Alright, 15 just hits.
Okay, the other one's much higher.
Alright. Roll damage.
So... 29 points of damage for the first hit.
Alright, and the second damage?
Ugh. 32 points of damage.
Alright. The first ape fist brings down and crashes her just like the second one. So the second one, you're smashing down even more and just causing more damage, probably to the tatami mat and the table, which we were probably fighting on, based on the positioning here.
Alright. I'll do my usual ape appreciation for all that on my chest.
Yeah.
Has anybody shown up?
No, not yet. The two knights that they were dragging are still out cold.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, I'm gonna go over to this thing that they've dragged out of the way.
Yes.
I'm gonna pick it up and chuck it through one of the walls.
Alright, so you chuck it into the northmost left room there.
Yeah.
Breaks through the door, obviously. Alright, so it was just off to the side, so there's a hole down there.
How big a hole?
Big enough for these things in spider form to fit through.
So big enough for me to crawl through?
You're huge, I'm afraid. You're too big. You could try squeezing, but you're liable to get stuck. This is like human trying to fit in through a vent in that isn't a film. Any situation is not a film, basically. It's about the size comparison we're going with here. I can go down there no problem. They can get down there in either human form or spider form. But your ape form's too big. Without squeezing. Which would require a check, which means you might get stuck.
Alright. My brain's not too wonderful in this form, but do I think I can excavate this? Like,
Make it just beat on it and make it bigger?
Yeah.
You could, you'd also probably collapse the tunnel.
Buckman's down there. Oh, a second, let's see if I care. Apparently I do.
Yeah, in the meantime, I've gone to the room with the three of them in there, they're gone.
Yeah, I know where they are.
Yeah, they're down here somewhere, I say. You might want to revert. You have other spell slots. If you want to turn to a giant ape again, you easily can.
I know. I was
Look,
having
the spell worked out so well for you here. We literally neither of us took any damage from that fight.
yeah.
Yeah, my improved version of Frost Breath worked great. Your giant ape form allowed you to do tons of damage and kill them basically in 2 rounds.
All right.
It's inconvenient at this point, unfortunately.
All right. So I'm gonna revert.
Yeah, at least you got to throw the table.
Do we have a minute, do you think, as I come back to myself?
It's possible. I imagine everyone who was conscious in this building and whatever's down there heard this.
Yeah. I was not quiet.
No, you were not quiet. They they were making noises, which I'm sure they'll be able to recognize.
Yeah.
Actually, probably the quietest thing that happened was my magic missile or frost breath.
Yeah. Well, I was being very loud.
Yes. Why? What did you have in mind?
Conjuring an earth elemental.
Oh! Well, first of all, there's no earth in here.
Tunnel was made of earth.
Oh, there's rock down there. Yes, you could use the tunnel. Yes. There. Do you want to give it a try?
I think it would be a nice asset in this fight.
True. We don't know what's down there, but it can tunnel through solid rock, which natural, unworked rock, basically, which is what this tunnel appears to be made out of.
Alright, I'm gonna have you stand watch at the top of the hole.
Yep.
I'm going through the 1 minute casting time for Conjure Earth Elemental.
Alright.
See if they come up.
Alright, so mark up the spell, because either way you finish it.
Yep.
So as you go through all of the arcane ritualistic procedures of casting a spell, even though it's not a ritual, it is longer than just a simple chant and a wave of your hand and your wand. But you finish the spell, and basically a section of the wall of this tunnel rips itself off and brings itself up to its full height as an earth elemental, which I am now going to check the dimensions for. Don't think it's huge.
Doesn't matter, you can just sink into the wall.
Yeah, we still need to... No, it's large. It's smaller than the giant ape, so it's fine in here.
Oh, alright.
Yep. So...
its instructions are to walk in front of us.
Yep. See if...
If you see any giant spiders, beat on them.
Yeah.
And
It's more capable of understanding those instructions.
Initiative is 7 plus whatever its dex modifier is.
We're not in initiative at the moment.
No, alright.
Okay.
Next initiative will be 7.
Sure, you can... I'll let you use that, it's fine. So we proceed down with our light sources.
Yep.
Just going with the reoccurring Hobbit theme at the moment, I'm going to cast my light cantrip on my dagger. This might come in handy in cutting the webs. We don't know.
Yep.
We don't know what to expect down there.
True.
So we proceed down.
Hobbit, I'll be Gandalf, and whatever this thing is.
Stone Giant? Beorn? I don't know.
Bjorn, sure.
Yeah. So we proceed down the tunnel.
Yep.
And we can move on to the next image.
Preceded by a giant
Earth Elemental. So, after we come down the way, so the tunnel is a little long.
Yeah.
By the way, webs covered everywhere here. So they definitely know we're coming.
That and the earth elemental's not.
Yeah, they're probably not sure what to make of that.
Yeah.
So we open up into this, basically, it's a cave.
Yep.
Covered in webs.
Yep.
Alright, there's a couple differences to this map than there are. First of all, there's 2 fewer spiders in here, because 2 of them are dead upstairs.
Does that mean there are
Now you should notice that there is more than 4 on this map.
Yeah, I can count to 5.
Yeah. The other thing that'll be noticed is there will be 2 fewer cocooned bodies.
Okay.
Where is not important.
Yeah.
However, as we come
Yeah.
down to this cavern, and there is a central stalagmite, or stalagmite and stalactite combo there,
Yeah.
but it isn't as thick as it's shown there, so we can't actually see into this room with our light sources.
Is there indeed a much larger spider than the others?
Yes, larger, and by the looks of, we suspect her,
Yeah.
older than the other 2.
Now, do I
And there's one
spot?
other thing that catches their eye in here:
Yeah.
a couple of tightly woven bundles, like sacks, in some of the webs,
As in egg sacs?
as in egg sacks, we think.
Do I? Can I spot Buckman and crew?
There are 2 basic. There's 3 bodies that are recently cocoons. They're woven up and bound tightly, and aren't moving very well, but are basically recently being attached. One of them is being attached now by the 2 remaining sisters.
Okay. Well, my instructions to the Earth Elemental were:
So to
see a
kill the giant.
spider, go kill it.
Yeah. All right.
New initiatives.
We will be getting to the point. I was just rolling to see which your elemental is going to spot first. He spots the 2 sisters.
Okay.
Charges for those 2.
Yep.
Follow your instructions. And yes, we should roll for initiative. Please roll for your Earth Elemental.
I rolled a 7 for him.
Yep.
Whatever the minuses are, whatever.
Oh, that's nowhere near as good for me. All right, so 7. What'd you roll?
Nat 20.
Okay, so you're going first.
Yep. Unless someone else rolled a nat 20.
They did not roll a 20.
What did you get?
An 8.
And the Earth Elemental is a 7 minus something, I assume.
Second. -1, so 6.
And the spiders.
They rolled a natural 18.
Yep.
So stat-wise, 1 second. That's a 21, so they're going after you. Because you have a natural 20.
Yep. What about the queen?
They're all going at the same time.
All right. Well, I'm glad I rolled a natural 20 now.
Yeah, 1 second while I set this all up. All right. So, as we come into this... It's the Earth Elemental. Who has 126 hit points. That's a nice number for a summoned creature to have.
Yeah. Hopefully stay in the battle for a while.
Yeah, hopefully you can maintain concentration.
Yeah, they don't know who's concentrating, so we'll see.
They do seem to be intelligent. They seem to recognize magic, but...
Yep. Well, yeah, they have to recognize magic. They're shape changers.
Yeah. Alright, so at the top of round 1, you see Earth Elemental going off, banking to the right, to go after the 2 sisters who are attaching one of, it looks like Buckman's commander, basically, the commander of his knights. You just basically see his face pointing through. So they're right there, hanging him from the ceiling, as the Earth Elemental is charging. It is difficult to terrain in here from the webs, so we are moving at half move rate.
Does that affect an Earth Elemental?
Earthglide can burn. It doesn't say, unless it uses it, you have it use its Earthglide ability to glide through the ground, which has to submerge through the webs on the bottom,
Yeah.
which will just tear through. It is going to be hampered by it, but it is probably big enough to just rip through the webs.
Yeah.
You and I might have a more difficult time with it.
Okay, so the
And off in the other side, we see who we assume is Mom.
yeah. Well,
They were expecting us, but you're up first.
I am concentrating on a spell,
Yes.
so I can't do a lot of the stuff I normally do. So I'm just going to fireball Mom.
Okay. You cast Fireball on her
Yes.
and all the webs around her.
Oh, I know. We may have some fire damage, you and I, to deal with.
Okay. Well, you cast the spell, so she's the only one in the range, though.
Yeah, I know. I can't do the other two because I can't do the other spiders because Buckman and crew are there.
Yeah. All right. That was a terrible roll.
Ugh. Doesn't matter.
She rolled a 9, so that's a fail.
Yeah. That's horrible. Want to guess?
20?
Not that high.
Oh, that's terrible. What'd you roll?
17.
17 fire damage. Okay, well, it all goes to the same place. All right. So the fireball goes off. It detonates.
Yep.
As per the spell, it ignites any flammable materia in the spell's radius, which is not being worn or carried.
Yep.
That includes all the webs.
Oh yeah, I know.
So they're on fire, so the webs are going to be burning now.
Yep.
Which is probably going to burn her again on her turn.
Yep.
These webs are interconnected throughout the entire cavern. That includes to Buckman and his crew at some point, and a few of the other bundles, which might all cocoons, some of which could be egg sacs, but some of which could also be bound and tied up victims.
What I do?
Yep. Well, you did it. Anything else in your turn?
Hold on a sec here. Are there webbings in the? Did the earth elemental clear up most of the webs in the tunnel?
Yes, I'll say that. That's fine.
Okay.
They definitely knew we were coming, though.
Yeah.
Basically, as far as the mouth of that cavern is, it's more or less clear at this point. But once we're in the actual room, we're in webs again.
That's where I'm gonna stay.
Okay, so your turn's done.
Yep.
All right, so at the top of the mom's turn.
Yep.
She takes 1 point of fire damage. And the webs keep burning, obviously.
Yep.
She herself is not on fire. She's just in the webs as they burn away, so that's...
Okay.
All right. She's going to climb up on the ceiling.
Yep.
Because she can do that. Probably one of the few areas at this point that wasn't hit by your fireball. There's still webs left. In that
rises
corner, yeah. And she can't quite reach us with that, so she's going to dash.
Okay.
So she's on the ceiling at the point. She's basically cresting around the side of that stalagmite.
To the left or the right?
To the left. Her daughters are on
The right.
the right. And they're up next. They were not on the fireball. All right, so the two remaining Jorogumo, if you want the original Japanese name for these creatures, climb down off the web and they go to meet your earth elemental.
Okay.
Which they're probably not going to be as effective against as they would hope to be.
Yeah, it doesn't care about poison.
No, it's immune to poison.
Yeah.
It's also resistant to piercing damage. But they are going to use the only weapons they have against it, which is their fangs, as they lunge forward as a spider would against its prey, which is one of the normal size. So 2 attacks against your earth elemental.
Yep.
So technically speaking, they both do technically hit,
Yeah.
but they don't pierce the Earth Elemental's natural 17 armor class with their fangs.
Yep.
So their attack goes to waste. You've thrown a creature against them they don't know how to necessarily combat against.
Cool.
Alright. On initiative count 20, we have lair actions.
Oh. All right.
So technically it's Mom who gets to decide this. It doesn't really matter. Alright. Well, we kind of cleared out the webs, so yeah, she's gonna go with this one. Alright. We feel a surge of pull in that magic field. We're at the heart of it now, in case you're wondering.
Okay.
One of the cocoon bundles near us bursts, and a bunch of tiny spiders come crawling out. A swarm of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I need to... Also has a natural 20. What's your initiative modifier?
+2.
Alright, the spider swarm. Initiative is +1, so it's going after you.
Okay.
Alright. So it's not going to move this turn, but it's quite close to us. It can probably get to us soon.
Okay.
My turn. Well, I said this is quite the situation we've landed ourselves in.
Yes.
Well, Mom and the spider, all the spiders are still pretty far away from out of range of frost breath. I could hit the spider, the two Jirogumo, and your Earth Elemental with Cone of Cold.
No, I think the elemental is actually really useful at this point.
Yeah. So that rules that out. So I'm down to the only other spell I can hit with Ray of Frost or Frostbite or Magic Missile because I didn't prepare Ice Storm today.
All right. Whatever you like. I think taking Mom out might be a good idea.
True. I'm a little concerned about those spiders, but the spider swarm. But we'll aim for her. All right.
You have an area effect spell that can take out a spider swarm?
Well, I could hit it with Cone of Cold or Frost Breath.
Oh, that's true.
But it feels like a waste.
Yeah.
Since technically the swarm is one creature.
Yeah. All right. Never mind.
All right. I am just going to hit Mom with a magic missile, I think. Soften her up a bit more. Alright, but I will make this one a bit bigger now that I know that they're tougher.
Yeah.
Let's go with a 4th level magic missile.
There you go.
So, this is technically the damage dice for Frost Breath now.
Yeah.
Not as good, but still good. 3 4s. 12, 17, 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 points of force damage. That's pretty good for technically a 1st level spell.
Yeah. Very good.
Alright, so she takes 24 points of force damage as I send 6 more arcane darts shooting off to hit her.
Yep.
If she feels this one, unlike the previous one, the previous Jirogumo just shrugged off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think to stay here because dealing with the webs is probably not the best idea at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll be having some difficulty maneuvering, and they won't, because we could clearly see they can walk on the webs perfectly fine.
Well, I want to assume so, yes.
As any spider can. Your elemental's turn. It is 2 Jirogumo, the 2 sisters, melee with it because they decided to attack.
pick one of them at random.
They're both undamaged, so yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna make what attacks? It's the same one, I assume?
Yeah.
What are your attack rolls?
18 plus whatever.
8.
Plus 8. I assume that hits then.
Yeah, 26 will hit.
And then a 27 will hit, I assume.
Yep.
What's the damage on them?
Oh yeah, this is technically a new creature. 2d8 plus 5. I haven't used this one today since we've been back.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're getting back into the swing of things here.
Whoa! D8s love me. 26. What did you say the plus on that was?
Plus 5 on both hits.
36 points of damage to the first one.
Yep. Well, to be perfectly honest, we don't know which one it is because we didn't see them transform. Well, takes a pretty big hit from those two slam attacks.
Yep. Yeah. 2 7s, an 8, and a 4.
Still standing.
Yeah.
Alright. At the top of the round, too, we come to you. Followed up immediately
Yes.
by a spider swarm.
There is a spider swarm. I have no idea what the spider swarm does.
Well, they're regular-sized spiders, but there's a lot of them, and they seem to be under their control.
And I assume there's some poison involved here, which I'm not immune to.
Also, bear in mind, Mom is getting close to us at this point.
Yes, I know. She's the more of the threat.
Well, I hate to break this to you, but you can't catch both of them in a fireball.
I thought she came closer.
She
How
did.
far-
She is basically coming around that stalactite coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
So she's about halfway around there.
Yeah.
The spider, the egg sac, was in this corner.
Yeah.
It is quite close to us, so you can't quite reach both of them.
That's
You could technically fireball all the webbing inside them, and it'll probably... Well, let's put it this way. If you fireball in here, the webs are going to catch fire.
Yeah, they already are on fire.
Yes. They're going to be burning still.
So they're more than 40 feet apart?
Yes.
Right.
But again, if you want to throw another fireball in there, it's just going to expedite the way the speed at which this nest burns. It is a tactic, but a dangerous one for us.
Sorry, what?
I said it is a tactic, but a dangerous one for us.
Yeah. I am going to burn a meta magic point.
Okay. Assume you're twin casting something.
And I'm going to twin cast Firebolt at her.
Okay, so so you're twin casting both of them at her, though.
Yeah.
Okay, make 2 attack rolls.
A nat 20
Yeah, that definitely hits.
and a 16, I think. Hold on a sec. What's my plus to hit here? Yep, and a 16.
That hits.
Alright, so that's 2d10.
The first one doubled.
14 on the first one.
That was the crit?
Yeah.
Okay.
$14 on the first one, which was doubled, and 15 on the second one, which isn't doubled.
Okay, they both hit her. Firebolts obviously burst on impact with her, but they don't scorch the surrounding webbing, so no additional webbing catches fire from that. But she doesn't like it. Also she looks old and probably not as healthy as the other younger spiders are.
Taking a bunch of damage.
Yes, she's still standing though, but we get the same feeling she's not been as active as her daughters have been in all this, so she's probably not fought in a while.
Yeah, she's taking a bunch.
We come to the spider swarm, which are definitely being directed to attack you because you're the one throwing fire around.
Yeah.
So, you have the unfortunate experience of having a bunch of spiders swarm up and crawl on you and as they occupy your space, because they can do that as a swarm.
I'm going to cast shield.
Okay, they haven't actually rolled to hit you yet.
I'm casting shield. I'm using it, triggering the ring.
Alright. They roll an 18 to hit you.
Which is now my armor class.
12 plus the 2 rings. Plus the two ring of protection.
Oh, it's 19 now. That's right. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's a miss.
Yeah. I gained 10 temporary hit points.
You do, and the shield protects you as it's intended in this case. Keeping all the tiny fangs of the regular-sized spiders from breaking your skin and injecting you with their venom.
Yeah, it's always nice to avoid that.
Alright. The webs continue to burn on initiative count 20, which we're going to get to in a moment, but no one's in that area anymore, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, so we now come to the Jurogumo. Mom is up first.
Yep.
On the ceiling, she basically points her abdomen towards us.
Yep.
As a big spray of webbing comes out of it.
Yep.
Come to occupy a space within 60 feet, which is me, you, and the spider swarm, technically, which is immune to being webbed.
Yeah.
Alright, so as per the dexterity saving throw.
And heroes, I was hoping that it would be an armor class thing, which I have really good at the moment.
No.
Oh, not 20.
You're fine. And I'm going to use a portent to pass.
A critical pass.
Yes. But doesn't do anything on this, unfortunately. So we would succeed. However, the space we are now occupying is covered in webbing again.
Yep.
We're just not restrained by it for the moment.
Yep. That's
all right.
Like we have to redo this save.
Might be. We don't know. All right, the two sisters are going to keep attacking the Earth Elemental because...
Okay.
It's what they do. Okay. Plus to hit on this is... So that's a 20 and a 21. Both hit.
Yep.
Alright, I need a d10. Alright, so the first bite does 7 damage, which is not a magic weapon though, so it's halved to 3.
Yep.
The second bite is a full... Oh wow, what was... Is a full 12 points of piercing damage, which halves to 6. And they attempt to flood your Earth Elemental's non-existent Earth circulatory system with poison.
And it doesn't care.
It doesn't care. So it doesn't take the...
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah.
A pleasant surprise later.
It was a lot of poison damage, let's say.
Yeah. I'm kind of concerned about that.
But it's fine. It doesn't mind.
Yeah, I know.
Got poked basically twice.
Yeah.
With some relatively sharp pointy teeth.
Yeah, which should probably break off.
Alright. Well, that isn't a thing. But,
Yeah,
so the webs burn away at this point further. There's less webbing in that corner. Then we come to lair actions again.
oh, yeah. Well, I can't do the spider swarm thing again.
No, there's already one, but there's other options here. Alright. The webbing that we just avoided
Yep.
magically animates and its strands are shooting out towards you
Okay.
as they attempt to wrap around you and pull you into the webbing and restrain you. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
You're serious. It has to hit me, doesn't it? Doesn't have to roll to hit me?
Nope, I'm afraid not.
Strength saving throw.
Yep. You have any luck left?
Alright, I get a +2. So 13?
That is the DC.
Woohoo!
You're able to break 3 of the strands, and for the first time, you feel a bit of renewed confidence in your strength.
No.
And also a very renewed confidence in your magic ring, your protection.
Oh yeah. That's what I have confidence in.
Alright, my turn. I said, well, the spider swarm doesn't seem to be too bad for the moment. I think we might want to finish off Mom.
That's my target.
She's looking pretty hurt, they say. I'm going to see if I can put her out of our misery.
Yeah, kill her and the lair action will end the next turn.
Alright, another magic missile.
Crank her up.
Alright. So, I conjure 3 more darts and they shoot out.
First level magic missile.
They impact her, and, well, the previous 2 Juragomos you crushed, so we didn't get to see them, but after they hit, she falls and her legs do that crimpling up thing that spiders do when they die.
Alright.
And she lands on the ground. Dead. 1 down.
Cool.
We hear some sort of cry from her daughters.
Yeah, but they're pissed.
Yeah. Now it's kind of good. So, with her death, technically, the lair actions will come to a stop.
Yeah, next turn.
However, the spider swarm is still technically under the control of Juragoma, so it will remain.
Can't be under their control if she's not here to control them.
It's technically obeys all 3, any of them.
Oh, okay.
She creates the lair actions is the logic, but because the spider swarm is spawned and Juragomo can control spiders,
yeah,
it will still obey them.
Okay.
It's a little loose, but it fits.
That's fine.
All right, that's it. Well, 1 down. I think that's a good start. Your Earth Elemental.
All right. Same one.
Yeah, why not? 2 attacks. It really only has 2. It only has 1 thing it does.
What is it? +8 to hit. They both hit.
Okay.
And it was 3d8.
2d8 plus 5.
Oh, I love d8s. Can't wait for chain lightning, I tell you.
Mhm.
So that's 16, 27. 37 points of damage on that one.
For both hits?
Yep.
Alright. She's still intact, but she's leaking blood at this point. She's taking a lot of damage. You actually knock a leg off with that last swing. She's on her last limbs.
Alright.
Literally.
Yeah.
Alright. Top of round 3, we come to you, who is not bind by webbing, but does now have spiders crawling over him.
I'm not gonna worry about it for the moment. I know it could be bad, but I want to get rid of these spiders. So I am going to burn another meta magic point on a twin cast. Firebolt.
Alright. Assume you're aiming for the one that your Earth Element's been beating on.
Yep. A nat 20.
Yep, that hits.
And the other one is a 11.
That misses.
Alright, the nat 20. For 14 points of damage.
Alright. So the one of the firebolts goes flying off and smashes into the wall, thankfully not hitting any webbing. The one that's a critical hit goes straight into a gate in the hole that your Earth Elemental just tore off when it broke one of her legs.
Yep.
And it goes right in and she bursts into flame from the inside as she burns and falls to the ground. Thankfully, the flames burn out before she again ignites the webbing in here. We're down to one Jirogumo left.
Yep.
And she's not happy with you. So the remaining sister, who I'm just going to say is Ayumi just for narrative purposes, because she's the eldest,
Alright.
mentally instructs the spider swarm to attack you.
Okay.
Again. That's a 13 to hit.
Don't even have to activate Meringue.
They only get +3 to hit, unfortunately. Your ambient magic of your ring that's reinforcing your defenses, just there, it's keeping them out of anything that can hurt you. Not for the first time today, I imagine you are thankful for having that ring.
Oh, I love my ring.
Yeah. So, Ayumi's turn. Very intelligent. Alright, yeah. She knows this isn't working. She's going to leave. She's going to disengage from your Earth Elemental.
Attack of opportunity.
No, she's disengaging.
Oh.
She's using her action to avoid attack of opportunity.
Okay.
And then she's going to use her movement to move around it and move closer towards us.
Okay.
So basically, you see that spider on the right there on the map?
Yep.
That's where she is. Not far from us.
Okay.
But that's all she can do.
All right.
Me! And I say, okay. She's a lot closer now.
Frost Brother.
I think that's what I was thinking. Alright. Unfortunately, I don't have a portent that can force her to fail. But it does mean I have a good portent for any potential saving throws I have to worry about.
Want me to roll her saving throw for you?
Go ahead. Then I'll go as the last one.
Well, she fails.
11, 13, 14, 15, plus 6 is 21 points of cold damage. And she failed, you said.
Well, unless she has plus 10.
No. Alright, so... For the third time today, we see another Jirogumo frozen in ice, and they don't like that.
They're really not going to like the fact that now the Earth Elemental is going to turn around, walk over, and pummel him with an advantage.
Yeah, because it's the Earth Elemental next. It was a nice 1-2 punch there.
Yep.
With advantage on both attacks.
First one hits. And the second one hits.
Yeah. For those who are curious, including you, I'm loving the new damage dice for Frostbreath. This is a good decision, I think.
Personally, I've always liked the fact that it held them more than the damage. And so far,
I know, but I was getting annoyed with the D10s, so I'm happy I changed it. This is a better decision, I think.
Yeah.
Also, I just like D4s.
28 points of damage.
For both hits?
Yep.
Alright. Well, she's taking the damage, but she's still pretty healthy. Also incensed.
Yeah.
Your turn. You still have your temporary hit points from the last use of the shield spell.
Yeah.
And besides, the spider swarm seems to be pretty ineffective.
Well, no, I'm just being lucky here, really. I am going to pull up my wand of magic missiles.
And magic missile her?
And
Or are you going to aim for the spiders that are crawling over you?
I don't even think that's it. I
Technically,
suppose,
you can do that.
technically, I can do that. I am emptying all but one charge into her.
Okay. That's a 6th level magic missile.
Yep. And unlike you, D4s do not like me. That is 5 ones.
5 out of 8 are 1s. Okay.
That's for 24 points of damage.
She's not looking good. She's barely moving in the ice trying to break free from it, but she is.
Yep.
Yeah, if you had rolled better, that probably would have been enough.
Ah, 5 ones.
The spider swarm is going to bite you because those are his last instructions it received.
Okay.
7. We come to Ayumi, who is basically screwed.
Yeah, she can't reach us, so she has to try and break free.
Which she does with a natural 19. But if she moves, she gets an attack of opportunity. But she's going to do that because she's not thinking rationally at this point. So your Earth Elemental gets an attack.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits.
See, I rolled an 8 and a 7 on the d8s.
So 15 plus 5, so 20.
Yeah.
Alright, and the Earth Elemental crushes her flat.
Hey!
Alright. You're not out of combat yet.
No, got a swarm of spiders on my body.
Yes. I'm up next. Well, I guess I'm going to hit them with frostbite.
Sure. I'm not gonna fireball myself to get rid of these things.
They roll a natural 19. So they save. They have no constitution modifier whatsoever, but they save.
Yep.
The Earth Elemental's turn.
I haven't given any other additional instructions, so it's just gonna stop.
Alright. You don't have, you can do that on its turn, but that's fine.
Yeah. Well, can I give it instructions on its turn or on my turn?
Well, oh, it's on your turn you give it instructions, but it doesn't take you an action.
Yeah.
Your turn. Top of round 5. The only thing left are these spiders crawling all over you.
I order the
Earth Elemental.
Earth Elementals to go and free Buckman and crew.
Alright. It's probably going to have difficulty getting the webs off, but it can tear them down and try and keep them safe.
Yeah, just collect them and bring them in this general direction.
Alright.
Pile them up like cordwood.
It's going to try and do that as gently as it can.
Yeah.
For a walking hillside.
So,
What are you going to do?
good question.
You can technically magic missile the spider swarm.
This seems so wrong.
What, that they're the things that survive the longest of all the things that were in this encounter? Yes.
No, the fact that I can magic missile things that are on my body.
The spell allows it.
Well, it's unerring, so why not?
Yeah.
I will cast a 4th level magic missile at them.
4th level. Alright, so you conjure 7 magical darts that arc off from your fingertips out into the air and then curve back around and come towards you. That must be the oddest visual you've ever done for this.
Yes, I know.
I'm just glad I threw them. I decided to keep the spider swarm for that reason. Roll damage.
Alright, so that is 18. 25 points of damage on the swarm.
Alright, you feel a variety of odd sensations as all the darts impact and detonate on the swarm.
Yep.
And then you feel a bunch of dead spiders fall off of you and into your clothes in some of the cases. But they are dead.
Swarm's gone?
Yes.
Alright.
So we are out of combat now.
Cool. I'm going to get the Earth Elemental to carry Buckman and crew up to the floor above.
I cast Create water, creating rain in the far corner, putting out any remaining burning webs.
Oh, I was gonna burn them all.
You want them to burn? Okay, fine.
Oh yeah, in this case, there's any more eggs.
All right. I'll go upstairs with the earth elemental to keep an eye on everyone, make sure they're fine.
Yeah, and I'll just firebolt any webs I see,
All
like
right.
any clusters, like the sacks.
There are probably dozens of locations you could hit with firebolts, and to save time, you do. In short order, this cave is an inferno. That
Eh,
won't
man,
last long, fortunately, but we'll definitely burn away any of the webs, burn any of the egg sacs. And since
right.
we didn't bother checking to see if any of those other bundles were people,
Well, I assume they're small. The egg sacs are small, right?
yeah, I understand there were other horses upstairs.
Yeah, there is that.
Well, we don't know how long they've been here or any number of things, what health they're in. Anyway, that's what you did.
Yeah.
And then you leave, going upstairs?
We go upstairs and wait for the fire to burn down,
Yeah,
and
which
then,
doesn't take too long.
yeah, and then go back downstairs and do a quick search.
All right. Well, there are a bunch of charred, dead spider Juragumos. So
Yeah.
there are a bunch of burnt and dead egg sacs,
Yep.
and there are indeed a few other victims down here. It's
I,
unlikely, though, that they died as a result of you burning them.
I figure they're kind of desiccated.
Yeah. There might have been like one of them or two that might have been like on the edge of death that your fire might have put them out of their misery. That's the best you could probably hope for.
I have a 26 on my investigation check of this place.
Uh there is some equipment, most of it just in terrible disarray and use. They don't seem to have much use for those sorts of things. They are predators who hunt and bring prey down here and feed on them like actual spiders. They're just much more cunning and devious about it.
I get my 2 gold pieces back.
4 gold pieces back.
Well, my 2 gold pieces.
And what were the two I gave her?
That's your problem.
All right, fine. So you find the 4 gold pieces and presumably pocket them all.
I give you your money back.
Yeah. And then we go back upstairs, and the two of us take solace in the fact that we did spare 5 individuals from that fate.
Yes. We'll cut
And
Buckman and crew free.
yeah, they're still unconscious. You can give them some do a medical check to stabilize them from the poison, but it's not going to do much more than they're just paralyzed and sleeping basically. And
Well, I have med kits, so I can technically use that to.
you can, as I said, you can stabilize them with that,
Yeah.
but
So, you know,
they're just going to basically be sleeping it off for the most part. The
yeah,
poison was not fatal because that's not the way spiders do things. Yeah,
I am going to try accelerating the process.
go ahead.
Never mind. I don't make it worse, at least.
It's not going to make much difference, I'll say. It's fine. However, the storm is still raging outside.
All
So,
right.
despite the fact, the location, and what we just went through in here, this is probably still the soundest place for them to rest and us to stay for the time being.
All right. We'll take watches
Yeah.
and we will ride out the night.
Yeah, in the hut, I presume.
Sure.
All right. And that's a good place for us to call the scenario.
Hold on a minute.
What?
Got a tree.
Yeah.
I want to go back and check on it.
Oh, come on. It's getting really late.
All right.
Yeah. We'll deal with that next time.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because this is a good point to call. That's the end. That is the end of the scenario. All
All right.
right. In the meantime, thank you for watching, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe, and please join us here again next time as we continue our adventures in the wilds of Taiga, which hold a myriad forms of life that even we hadn't dreamt of yet.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
All right, everybody.